for a second straight year, for a third time in 6 years, and for the fourth time since 1972, Dean Smith Tar Heels are in the NCAA championship game. Tonight, the Tar Heels, the nation's #1 ranked team, riding a 15-game winning streak with a 31-2 overall record, meet the Georgetown Hoyas, number 6 in the AP poll, number 7 in the UPI rankings, with a school record 30-6 record. This is a ball club that has won 16 of its last 17 games, including its last 10 in a row. And the mixture of cheers and boos are going up because the Tar Heels of North Carolina are making their appearance onto the Louisiana Superdome playing floor. It's quite evident that a good majority of this crowd tonight, which should be even larger than Saturday's record crowd of 61,000 plus, may be pulling against North Carolina in its bid for a first national championship under Dean Smith, and a second, ironically enough, on the 25th anniversary of a one that was won by an undefeated 1957 team, 32-0. Along with Jim Hebner, this is Woody Durham and our entire Tar Heel Sports Network crew. We're courtside on the east side of the Louisiana Superdome, just a few feet behind the official scorers table. The Tar Heels will be seated at the bench down to our left. The Georgetown Hoyas will be the bench in our more immediate vicinity to the right, a bench which finds John Thompson pacing like a caged lion in front of it right now. Quite honestly, he is awaiting for his very close friend, Dean Smith. And Dean Smith is now making his way onto the Louisiana Superdome playing floor, and there's going to be a genuine show of affection between these two men, I think, before they get ready to do battle. Dean Smith has stopped and shook hands with Patrick Ewing, and now Dean Smith and John Thompson. Dean Smith at a shade under 6 feet, dwarfed by the 6'10", 300-pound John Thompson. But as they shook hands, they genuinely patted each other, and now the same sort of reaction is going on between assistant coach Bill Guthridge, who sat on that Olympic bench at Montreal in 1976 alongside John Thompson, as Dean Smith is the head coach with the able assistance of that staff, won back the gold medal that had been lost in Munich, Germany in 1972 to the Soviet Union. And now Big East Commissioner Dave Gavitt, the chairman of the NCAA Basketball Committee, has moved down to the area of the Georgetown bench and said something to the champion of his tournament, the Big East representative. And we'll be back with the starting lineups of tonight's game in 30 seconds. For Georgetown in the front court, Eric Smith, the 6'5 senior from Potomac, Maryland. Up front for North Carolina on the alternating introduction, Matt Doherty, the 6'7 sophomore from East Meadow, New York. For Georgetown, a 6'7 senior from Washington, D.C., Mike Hancock. Eric Smith, by the way, averaging 9.4, the same as Doherty. Hancock, 6.7. And for North Carolina, All-America James Worthy, a 6'9 junior from Gastonia, North Carolina, out of Ashbrook High School. He'll be playing an old crosstown rival and good friend tonight. In the middle for Georgetown will be Patrick Ewing, a 7-foot, 220-pound freshman from Cambridge, Massachusetts, is the Big East Conference Rookie of the Year. In the middle for Carolina, All-ACC, All-America selection, Sam Perkins, a 6'9 sophomore from Latham, New York. He's averaging 14 points plus per game, just under 8 rebounds. Ewing just over 12 points and about 7.5 rebounds. In the backcourt for Georgetown, Fred Brown, a 6'5 sophomore from the Bronx, New York, averaging just over 5 points a game. In the backcourt for Carolina, the ACC Rookie of the Year, a 6'4 freshman from Wilmington, North Carolina, Michael Jordan out of Laney High School. And for Georgetown, James Worthy's Gastonia neighbor, Eric Sleepy Floyd, a 6'3 senior All-America. He's averaging 16.7. He and Ewing the only double-figure scorers for the Hoyas. And in the Tar Heel backcourt, Jimmy Black, a 6'2 senior from the Bronx, New York, an all-East regional selection last week in Raleigh. Those are the starting lineups. We've already told you about the coaches. I think you're ready, we're ready, and we'll have the tap-off in 1 minute. The officials assigned for tonight's national championship game. He represents the Metro Conference, but you've been familiar with him in a lot of ACC games. That's Hank Nichols. The umpires are Johnny Davro from out of the Big Eight and Bobby Dibbler from the Western Athletic Conference. North Carolina, 31-2, bidding for a national championship for the 4th time under Dean Smith, the first time for the Georgetown Hoyas under John Thompson. There have been 9 coaches who have come to an NCAA Final Four for the first time and won it all. 17 others have finished as the runner-up, their first time out of the chute. Georgetown attired in blue, Pat Ewing again has on that familiar gray T-shirt underneath his jersey because of the recurring cold. The Tar Heels are in what would be considered their home white with the blue numerals, blue trim. Hank Nichols steps in between the two of them. Carolina will be going to the basket at the north end. Georgetown the basket south end. Georgetown comes away with the opening tap with Eric Smith in the left corner. Out it comes to Hancock. Now in the midcourt area to Fred Brown. Over to Sleepy Floyd as Carolina's open in a man-to-man defense. Floyd takes it down the right sideline. Comes to the baseline. Can't get through. Big hands are up there in front of his face. Gets it back out in the midcourt area to Fred Brown. Now to Eric Smith. Sleepy Floyd bounces low to Ewing. Turn around. Left baseline is good. And Georgetown breaks on top 2-0 in the first 24 seconds of play. Georgetown pressuring Carolina in the backcourt. Black to Sam Perkins. Now comes to Jimmy Black. Lost. Recovered, however, by Matt Doherty. Now to Jimmy Black. Black caught in the double team. Gets it away to Doherty. Doherty comes down the left sideline. Gives it up to Michael Jordan. Now to Doherty on the left side. Doherty will take the open jump shot from out on the left. It's no good. Ewing with the rebound on the right. Drops it off to Sleepy Floyd. Floyd attacks on the left side as Georgetown quickly gets down court offensively, but Carolina's back in the zone. Deep corner pass to Hancock. Hancock will come up the sideline. Drops it off to Sleepy Floyd. Floyd getting the pick from Hancock. Jumper is no good. Worthy taps it to keep it alive. Jimmy Black made a nice baseline save. John Thompson gets his defense back now. No backcourt pressure. Away to Doherty. Doherty will go baseline. Can't get through to Black. High lob to Worthy. Worthy in the lane against Ewing. Ball slapped away. Hancock comes away with it. Looked to be contact, but no whistle on the play. Fred Brown gets it across the timeline. Quick drive all the way down. Off the Hancock. Jumper from out of the corner is no good. Ewing all over. Perkins is back. No foul called on the play. It's evident in the early going that these officials are going to let the two teams play. Jimmy Black inside to Worthy. Worthy, soft jumper in the lane. Goaltending against Ewing. Worthy will get the call. The ball was on its way down. Ewing leaped up and caught it before it ever had a chance to either hit the rim or possibly go in. So the score is tied 2-2. That's the first time it's been tied here in the early going. We played 1 minute and 34 seconds at the Louisiana Superdome. Smith out front to Brown, over to Floyd. Floyd feeds inside to Eric Smith. Layup is good. Smith got free from Doherty underneath, and it's 4-2 in favor of Georgetown. After the made field goal, Georgetown is pressing with its full court zone pressure. Black, Perkins, Worthy, front court now to Jordan. Drops it off to Doherty. Doherty works to the baseline. Eric Smith is all over him. Doherty looking for a pass. Finally gets it out front to Jordan. Gives it off to Jimmy Black. Georgetown very aggressive defensively. Defense, of course, Georgetown feels is its strong suit. Carolina scouting report says a lot of Georgetown goals have been gotten off of Georgetown steals. Jimmy Black, left baseline, no good. Ewing with a tap. Carolina getting only one shot early. Away to Eric Smith. Off it goes to Hancock. He traveled. That turns it over to Carolina. And that's the first turnover of the ball game for the Hoyas. 4-2, Georgetown leading. Jim, we played 2 minutes and 20 seconds. Jimmy Black flips it against Georgetown pressure to Jordan. Now to Doherty coming front court. The Georgetown defense is back. Ewing knocks the ball away from Doherty. Took it away from him. 2 turnovers for the Tar Heels, and Ewing has been very aggressive in the early going. Bounce pass away to Eric Smith. Doherty on him. Inside to Ewing. Ewing against Perkins. This time Perkins has jumped. Laid it up off the glass over him. Ewing has got 4 of Georgetown's first 6 points, and the Hoyas break to a 6-2 lead. Tar Heels having problems handling Georgetown's pressure. Jordan away to Doherty. Doherty pulls up. Ewing gets on him. Out front now to Black. Now it comes to Perkins. Perkins gives it to Doherty. Top of the circle. Away now to Jimmy Black. The Georgetown bench is standing to Perkins at the baseline. Had trouble holding it, but finally control to Worthy. Worthy in the lane. Short jumper blocked. Ewing goaltending. Worthy's got 2 on Pat Ewing's goaltending call, and it's 6-4. John Thompson is up, sending Ed Spriggs into the ball game, and he is arguing with the officials about the 2 are not the first goaltending call, but the most recent one, Jim.
Woody, both were clearly goaltending. Pat Ewing is coached to block everything. Don't worry about whether it is goaltending. They hope to be an intimidating force with that.
Brown to Spriggs. Spriggs got free from Worthy. Drives on Perkins up off the glass over him. No good. Tap went out of bounds off Eric Smith. It'll belong to Carolina. And the Tar Heels have got a chance, Jim Hebner, to tie for a second time on Georgetown's second turnover.
In the early going, the Tar Heels are 2 of 4. Georgetown 3 of 5. The Tar Heels look, well, both teams, Woody, are a little psyched up right now. They'll settle down.
Black across the timeline against Floyd. Floyd's got a bit of a height advantage away to Perkins. Perkins will fire from outside. Wouldn't go down. Rebounded by Georgetown. Carolina getting only one shot. Eric Smith came away with it then. Brown down court to Floyd. Floyd on the drive against Black. Knocked away over the end line, and it'll be Carolina's basketball. Evidently it was not knocked away. Sleepy Floyd lost it on the dribble as he tried to move baseline. Perkins will inbound to Doherty. Doherty lost control of it, but recovered. Now to Perkins, to Worthy, backcourt, now to Jimmy Black. Black trying to get across the timeline against Brown, gets it to Doherty. Doherty in the right corner, has the ball almost knocked away, and there's a whistle, and it's out of bounds belonging to Carolina.
Woody Dean Smith told us he was more worried about Sleepy Floyd than he was Pat Ewing, and I'll tell you, very early in this game, Floyd's quickness is very, very apparent as he keeps pecking at the ball when the Tar Heels are trying to bring it up court, particularly when Jimmy Black's handling.
Worthy covered by Smith. The pass had to go to Perkins. Now it's out front to Jimmy Black. Georgetown back in the 2-3 zone. Now to Doherty down the right sideline to Jimmy Black. Black looked over to Jordan, gives it up to Doherty. Doherty holds high, comes a couple of dribbles up just right of the circle to Jimmy Black. Jumper from 20 feet, rimmed out, wouldn't go. Jordan's got the rebound, moves inside, laid it up, it wouldn't go. Knocked into the corner, recovered Eric Smith. It was Pat Ewing underneath. 6-4 Georgetown. We played just about 4.5 minutes in New Orleans. In the lane, Brown traveled with it, and that turns it over. Georgetown's having some problems at the moment. That's 4 turnovers for the Hoyas. John Thompson walking away from the Georgetown bench as Dean Smith stands in front of his. John Thompson with that familiar towel draped over his right shoulder, hollering for a foul. He's going to get Anthony Jones into the lineup. Carolina has yet to make a substitution. Now Jones is going in. Jones is the 6'6 freshman from Washington, D.C. The vital statistics on Spriggs, who went in a moment ago. He's 6'9", a senior from North Brentwood, Maryland. Black inbounds to Worthy. Now it comes to Jordan. Georgetown with 2-2-1 zone pressure against the Tar Heels. Worthy gives it back to Jordan. High lob to Perkins going down the left side front court. Carolina still with a chance to tie, although North Carolina's not gotten a good shot of late. Now it comes out front to Black. Black away to Jordan. Jordan against Eric Smith. Smith up in his face. Very physical defense by Carolina. Perkins had a notion. Smith got on him. Perkins pulls up on the dribble, gives it to Michael Jordan. Spriggs is on him. Height advantage for the Hoyas. Georgetown fans coming to their feet, applauding the Hoya defense. Jimmy Black out front against Sleepy Floyd. Over to Sam Perkins it comes. Now back to Jimmy Black. Bounces low to Worthy. Worthy in traffic, turns over Ewing. It was tapped, no good. They battle for it inside. Knocked out of bounds, I believe, off Ed Spriggs. It's still Carolina's ball. Well, Worthy inside, unable to get a good, clean shot due to the intimidating Georgetown defense. But right now, there's going to be an official timeout taken here in the Superdome.
Did not do some of the things inside that they like to do.
Peterson's in replacing Jordan as Georgetown's in the zone now. Peterson, the freshman from Asheville. Doherty, Spriggs on him very tightly, prevents Doherty from looking at anything from the wing. Jimmy Black, away to Buzz Peterson. Looked inside to Worthy, can't get it to him. Georgetown very tough with a zone defense now. 2-3, Peterson to Black, now to Doherty. Carolina with a chance to tie inside to Worthy. Flips it to Perkins, up for the shot, and the foul's on Ewing. Pat Ewing draws his first personal foul. Jim, he's been a little prone for foul trouble this year. He's committed 113 on the year, fouled out of 5 ball games, but Fred Brown's even more foul prone as he's fouled out of 6. Jordan returns replacing Peterson.
Woody, we watched the Tar Heels play all year, and that's the first time in this game tonight. We're about 5.5 minutes into it, in which the Tar Heels have really had the kind of flow that's familiar to North Carolina fans in a possession. And other times, the Georgetown defense has been taking them out of that. It's clear they want to get it to Perkins in the middle to try you.
2 shots for Sam Perkins, and the first one is no good. Sam, a 77% shooter, so Carolina will not be able to tie on this possession. Perkins, who had 25 points and 10 rebounds in Saturday afternoon's 5-point victory over Houston, will have another shot coming. 6-4 Georgetown. That one no good off the front of the rim. Ewing's got the rebound. Dropped it away to Eric Smith. I think that's a little indication that there may be some early tightness. Anthony Jones, left corner. It's 8-4 Georgetown. Anthony Jones hits one from deep in the left corner for the Hoyas. And Georgetown matches its biggest lead of 4 points. It was 6-2 early. Doherty breaks his dribble in the backcourt, goes to Jimmy Black. Black whips it away to Jordan. Jordan for the layup, blocked Ewing, and there's going to be another goaltending call. That's the third against Ewing, and Michael Jordan will get the bucket. It's 8-6.
Woody, all 6 of the Tar Heel points so far have come on goaltending. It'll be interesting to see if that does begin to affect North Carolina, but so far they're taking it to the basket when they get that opportunity.
Carolina man-to-man. Doherty picks up Eric Smith at the timeline. Down the sideline it goes to Floyd. In the middle to Smith. He got free for the layup, and it's good. Eric Smith gets his second field goal. Georgetown again goes to a 10-point lead, or 4-point lead rather, at 10-6. Doherty caught in between the double team. Out front to Black. Georgetown is man-to-man now. Doherty works against Eric Smith. Sleepy Floyd on Black. Perkins is against Ewing. Ed Spriggs has got the job on Worthy. That's the Black from Worthy. Underneath, backdoor, Doherty couldn't hold it. Oh, that turns it over for the Tar Heels. Fred Brown will get back into the Georgetown lineup, replacing Eric Smith.
Woody, there's no question that this Georgetown defense, about which some of the local writers were making so much on Saturday, that they were saying it was good Saturday. I was not that impressed at that time, but in the first few minutes of this game, the Georgetown defense is overwhelmingly the dominant factor in this game so far.
Sleepy Floyd comes to the foul line, takes the jumper, good. 12-6 in favor of Georgetown. The Hoyas have broken on top by 6. here in the first half with 13:15 left to go. Worthy to Perkins. Carolina really having to work to get the ball front court against Georgetown. Jimmy Black on the left side. Comes out front now to Doherty. Doherty down to Michael Jordan. Jordan right of the lane. Double clutched it. Gives it away to Perkins. Layup is no good. Perkins trying to follow up. Another goaltending call against Pat Ewing. And Perkins will get his first field goal. That is 4 goaltends against Patrick Ewing, the Georgetown 7-foot freshman.
Woody, I don't know if anybody keeps a record on that, but I have never seen a game in which the first 4 points were scored on goaltend. There must be some kind of record in the making.
Anthony Jones, left corner for Georgetown, gets between the double team to Ewing, shoots over Perkins, no good, tapped up, no good. Doherty's got the rebound. It's 12-8. Carolina can pull within 2 to Jimmy Black, knocked away by Fred Brown, but into the scorer's table. It'll be out of bounds, Carolina. 12:38 left to play in the first half. North Carolina State's Jim Valvano will join Jim Hebner at halftime. You'll want to stay tuned for that. The basket had hung up, or the net had hung up rather on the rim at the goal down to the south end of the Louisiana Superdome, and Hank Nichols had to get it unlodged. He has done that. We're resuming play. Carolina attacking the Georgetown 2-3 zone. Doherty on the right wing will bring it top of the circle now against Black. Inside, ball knocked away by Sprigg. Recovered Sleepy Floyd. Floyd reverse dribble against Doherty. Floyd going all the way, blocked from behind by Jordan. Recovered Hancock, lost, knocked away, went out of bounds off Carolina. It still belongs to Georgetown. Good defense then by the Tar Heels in recovering as Sleepy Floyd with a couple of reverse dribbles looked like he might have an uncontested layup, but the Tar Heels were able to block it.
Woody, somebody came out of the pack. I don't know who made that block, but it was just an incredible, intimidating block by the Tar Heels. We've been hearing that much so far, mostly about
Ewing. I believe it might have been James Worthy.
Boy, it was tough.
Bill Martin's in the ball game now as Patrick Ewing has come out. Martin is a 6'7 freshman from Washington, D.C. 12-8 Georgetown. Martin, right sideline, gets it back out front to Fred Brown. Tar Heels in a 2-1-2 zone at the moment. Almost a 1-3. Anthony Jones shooting left corner. He made one earlier from that spot, missed it. Jordan comes down with a rebound. Clears it away to Doherty. Doherty going in against Floyd for the layup. It's good. There was contact, but no foul on the play. Doherty gets his first field goal. The Tar Heels have pulled back within 2 at 12-10. It was 12-6. Perkins and Doherty have given Carolina 4 unanswered points. Floyd between the double team. Black knocked down. No foul call. Way to Fred Brown. Now to Bill Martin. Now comes back to Brown. Brown a couple of dribbles and back out front to Floyd. Floyd looked inside. Now Sleepy will go baseline. Takes the jumper off the glass. It's good. Sleepy Floyd, who did not have a very good afternoon on Saturday, only 3 of 11 from the field, has hit 2 of his first 3 shots. And it's 14-10 in favor of Georgetown. Jordan, left corner. Spriggs is there, so it's back to Black. Now to Doherty, right of the circle. Doherty goes to Black. Black looks inside, now goes to Jordan. Jordan looks baseline to Worthy, can't get him the ball. High lob back to Black, now right corner to Doherty. Doherty will come up the sideline on a couple of dribbles. Matt looks inside. The Georgetown defense is sagged back. Goes across the top of the zone to Jordan. Now to Jimmy Black, to Worthy. Ball knocked away, contact, no foul. Doherty recovered for the Tar Heels. Pushed it back to Black, now to Worthy. Ball away, 10 feet, good. 14-12, James Worthy has his 6th point. Carolina trying to go inside to the big guy from Gastonia. 10:40 to play in the first half. Across the timeline, right side comes Sleepy Floyd. Tar Heels in the zone. Anthony Jones, left corner, Fred Brown. Baseline to Spriggs. Shovels it off to Bill Martin. Soft jumpers up, no good. Tapped around. Spriggs recovers for Georgetown. Pushes it away to Brown. Now to Sleepy Floyd. Jumper from out on the right is good. And Sleepy Floyd has got a hot hand in the early going. 16-12, Georgetown over Carolina. Doherty down the right sideline, coming back between the double team. Gives it up to Jimmy Black. Doherty hollering out there should have been a foul. Here's Worthy, 17 feet, good. James Worthy's got 4 field goals. Worthy has made 4 of his first 5 shots. It's 16-14 Georgetown. We approach the 10-minute mark.
Woody, we need to point out that the Tar Heels are making this little run, if you can call it that, with Pat Ewing on the bench. He's actually waiting to come back into the game, but the Tar Heels have looked different with Ewing out.
Martin, now to Brown on the left side. Fred Brown working against Michael Jordan. Tar Heels man-to-man. Goes inside now to Martin. Martin turn, looks baseline to Spriggs. Drops it off to Brown. Here's Sleepy Floyd from out on the left. Good. Boy, Floyd has really got a hot hand. He's got 8 points, and so it's a Gastonia show now. He missed his first shot, but he's hit his last 4 in a row.
And he scored
18,
the last 4 for Georgetown. He's been responsible for everything here in the last 4 minutes.
Jimmy Black out front on the right. Gets it to Jordan at the right wing. Now it comes to Doherty. Looks inside to Worthy. Back to Jordan. They got on Jordan, so he lobs it high on the left side to Black. Now back to Jordan on the right. Georgetown 2-3, away to Doherty. Doherty looking inside to Worthy. Can't get him the ball. All up in his face is Martin. Gets it over now to Jimmy Black. Amazingly enough, there's not been a foul called in this ball game as yet. Yes, I believe there's been one. That one was on Patrick Ewing. Black, high post pass to Worthy. Worthy in traffic. Soft jumper, good. Worthy has got 10 points, and it's 18-16 as we're under 9 minutes to go in the first half. Worthy has scored 6 in a row. Across the timeline now, right through the center, jump circle with a big NCAA seal here at the Superdome comes Fred Brown. Sleepy Floyd tried to get it low to Spriggs, knocked away Perkins. That's a dead ball and will allow Eric Smith and Patrick Ewing to get back in the ball game for Georgetown. But before we can resume play, there's an official timeout taken at the Superdome. So with timeout on the floor, 8:43 to play in the first half, the score, Georgetown 18, Carolina 16. Superdome, New Orleans, Louisiana, the championship game of the 1982 NCAA tournament. Jim Hebner with 8 minutes 43 seconds left to play as Jim Braddock is in the first half for the first time, and Eric Smith and Pat Ewing are back in the Georgetown lineup. Georgetown's got an 18-16 lead.
Woody, as best as I can recall, the Tar Heels were down by 6 when Pat Ewing went to the bench about 5 minutes ago. Pat Ewing is now coming back into the game. The Tar Heels are down by 2 during what is turning out to be the Gastonia show. As you just pointed out, it'll be interesting to mark the time that he returns.
Baseline inbounds pass. Jones out of the right corner. No good. Jordan had a hand on the rebound. Lost it. Recovered. Carolina's got a chance to tie for the second time. Here's Braddock coming front court. He's in for Jimmy Black. Boy, they're working on Black. Black had to take a blow, and he can sometimes go for 40 minutes. But it's a lot of work for the Tar Heels tonight against the Georgetown defense. Braddock against Smith. Bounce low to Worthy. Worthy trying to tie. Rejected Ewing. That's his 5th goaltend call. James Worthy's got 12, and the game is tied for a second time at 18 all. Ewing has been whistled for 5 goaltends in the first half.
Woody, right now, the best Tar Heel offense might appear to be to just stand out there from about 25 feet, throw it up, let Ewing catch it, and the Tar Heels get an automatic 2.
Carolina scored on its last 6 possessions, according to Bob Woodruff. Sleepy Floyd double team, got it to Martin, turnaround, right baseline is no good. Jordan's there to get the rebound, and Carolina can take its first lead. Tar Heels come quickly front court. Braddock, the Chattanooga, Tennessee junior, takes it left side, goes to Worthy. He looks to Doherty, called Perkins out to the high post, now gives it to Braddock. Braddock backing up center jump circle. Perkins comes to get it on the right wing, bringing Ewing with him as Georgetown's in a man-to-man defense. Doherty holding high with Eric Smith all up in his face. Doherty bounce pass low to Perkins. Perkins behind the glass. Ball got knocked away by Eric Smith. It's out of bounds, Carolina. It's Spriggs. We'll get back into the Georgetown lineup. Spriggs played no basketball in high school and was working for the Postal Service in Washington, D.C. when Georgetown's John Thompson found him playing in a recreation league. He's a 25-year-old senior. Worthy to Jordan. Out front to Jim Braddock. Braddock looked inside. Couldn't get the pass there. Now pushes it away to Worthy. Almost in the left corner. James comes baseline. Ball knocked away. Recovered by Brown. It's off to Eric Smith. Left open foul line. Jumper's good, and it's 20-18 in favor of Georgetown. And Eric Smith got his 3rd field goal.
What do you mean? While back on the other end of the court, James Worthy wound up falling to the floor, claiming that he was hammered there, but again, there was no call.
There's been only 1 foul called thus far in the ball game, Jim, and there has been an awful lot of contact inside. So it's an indication, once again, the officials are letting them play. Perkins comes baseline, comes up the sideline now on the left. Holds high, looked low to Jordan, couldn't get it to him, to Doherty. Now out front to Braddock. Jimmy Black's at the scorer's table, waiting to get back in. Braddock had the ball knocked away, recovered it. Georgetown was hollering for a double dribble. Doherty now against Eric Smith. Smith reaches around, draws the foul. That's number 2 on Eric Smith. The Carolina fans were beginning to wonder, I think, Jim, if another one was going to be called. That's only Georgetown's 2nd, but there's not been one whistled on the Tar Heels as yet.
Well, I think the officials have indicated what they consider to be a significant or advantageous foul in the game so far. It happens only when a turnover seems to be created by the contact.
They're not going to call it close, and that oftentimes works to Carolina's disadvantage, as it did in a very lopsided loss by 16 points back on February 3rd in Virginia, the last time North Carolina lost. Worthy on the sideline against Spriggs, goes to Black. Back door to Jordan, reverse layup, no good. Worthy's there to claim the rebound, knocked away. Whistle, and who's the foul on? I believe it's on Fred Brown. Yes, it is. Fred Brown, the guilty party, and the Bronx sophomore draws his first personal foul. And in case you're wondering, he did not go to the same high school with Jimmy Black. Jimmy Black went to Cardinal Hayes. Brown is a graduate of Adlai Stevenson High School. That's the 3rd team foul. Chris Brust is into the Tar Heel lineup now. The senior from Babylon, New York, is Sam Perkins sits down for the first time. I don't believe James Worthy's been out of the game yet, has he? Black out front to Jordan in the midcourt area. 20-18, Carolina trying to tie for a 3rd time. Black on the right side, coming to Jordan. Now it's back to Black. Carolina trying to be very patient against a very aggressive Georgetown defense. Here's Doherty out on the right side. No good. Tap dunk by Worthy. Worthy's got 14, and it's tied at 20 all for a third time, Jim.
And Woody, he's become the Tar Heel offense. Worthy has gotten the Tar Heels' last 10 points in a row.
Eric Smith on the left side deployed. Now they move it right side, and there's a whistle and a foul off the ball called on Chris Bruss. Bruss telling Hank Nichols as he pushed off Patrick Ewing that he had been pushed first. No, the foul's on Buzz Peterson. No, check it. Peterson's into the lineup. It's on Chris Bruss. I was right the first time. Bruss draws his first personal foul. That's the first team foul. Peterson is back in the lineup, replacing Jordan. Eric Smith will inbound, intercepted Peterson. Ball knocked loose, recovered by Brown for Georgetown. Brown on the drive in the lane, lays it up, scores 22-20 in favor of Georgetown. That's Fred Brown's first bucket of the game. And we got a whistle and a foul on the play. And it's going to be against Georgetown, and it's on Fred Brown for the charge, and it's going to be his second. I think I told you earlier that he is the most foul-prone player on the Georgetown team, even more so than Pat Ewing. He's been called for 123 fouls on the year and is fouled out of 6 ball games. Carolina quickly front court, trying to tie. Here's Doherty, left corner, had a notion, didn't take it. To Peterson on the left. Buzz puts it back to the floor, now gives it to Worthy. Worthy against Briggs, back to Peterson, now comes top of the circle to Doherty. Doherty holds high, Worthy cuts through the middle, can't get him the ball as Briggs fronts him. Now it goes to Peterson. Peterson jump shot 15 feet. No good. Doherty taps it outside, recovered Peterson, got it to Bruss. Bruss holds high, comes across the top of the zone to Doherty. Doherty looked inside to Worthy, couldn't get it to him. Pushes it back to Peterson. Peterson one dribble, and inside to Worthy. Ball away, good! Worthy from 15 feet. Worthy has got 16 points. James has hit 8 of his first 9 shots. That's his 6th bucket in a row. 22 all. It's tied for a 4th time here in New Orleans. What great performances we're seeing on both these ball clubs. Eric Smith takes it down to the baseline, drives through on the left, lays it up off the glass. Good. Good spinning drive by Eric Smith, or spinning layup off a good drive to Buzz Peterson. Peterson down against Ewing, pulls up, shoots over him, won't go. Bruss taps it outside, and it's recovered by Floyd. Ball got kicked, will go out of bounds, and it belongs to Carolina.
Hey, Woody, what a game Buzz Peterson is playing. He came in and started a great steal, and then at that point, I thought he made a great effort in putting that ball up against Ewing almost for 2.
Jim, if he'd have come down with him with a rebound and held on to it rather than tapping it out, Carolina would have possession under its own goal.
That's, of course, the way Dean Smith coaches that situation. If you're not sure you can get that possession, he wants you to tap it out. The Tar Heels were not in position.
Worthy has come out for the first time now. Jordan is back in the lineup. It's Black giving it away to Perkins. Black slapping the hands of Gene Smith, who's in the game. Back door to Black. Layup is good. Gene Smith got away from him, and Black, in turn, got away from Gene Smith and ties it for a 5th time at 24 all. Tar Heels were down early by 6. Eric Smith now away to Gene Smith, who's in the ball game. He's a 6'2" sophomore from Washington. Floyd going baseline against Michael Jordan. Jumper from there, went in, popped out. Perkins has got the rebound. Floyd held back. Now Perkins will give it up to Jimmy Black as Georgetown gets back in the zone, and Carolina can again take the lead. The Tar Heel contingent of fans, a large one, coming to their feet. Sam Perkins on the left wing, looking, gives it up to Buzz Peterson. Peterson will come up the sideline against Eric Smith. Breaks his dribble, now goes to Michael Jordan. Jordan will drive baseline against Ewing, got him in the air, pushes the shot up, no good. Rust is there, controls, up for the layup, no good. He was intimidated and fouled by Ewing, and that's number 2 on Pat Ewing of Georgetown. Ewing can't believe the call, and Georgetown's asking for a timeout. So there's timeout called by Georgetown, the first by the Hoyas. With 4:04 left to play in the first half, there's timeout on the floor with a score. Carolina 24, Georgetown 24. Gene Smith to Eric Smith. Tar Heels now with zone pressure. High lob to Ewing at the left wing to Smith. That's Eric. Now over to Gene Smith. Now it goes to Mike Hancock. Back to Gene Smith. Comes top of the circle to Eric Smith. Sleepy Floyd looks inside. Nobody there. Smith down the right sideline. Bounce pass back outside to Eric Smith. 25-24 Carolina. Sleepy Floyd off to Gene Smith. Now to Eric Smith to Ewing. Shot, baseline, good. Patrick Ewing's got his 3rd field goal, and it's 26-25 favor of Georgetown. 3.5 minutes left to play in the first half. Jimmy Black, lead pass to Worthy, coming down on the right side. His old teammate Sleepy Floyd's on him. Baseline, Worthy shot's no good. Jordan's there, faking, going up for the shot and scoring. He got Gene Smith hanging in the air and then went up and scored his 2nd field goal. Carolina moves back on top, 27-26. It's a good one. I'm delighted you're with us for it tonight. Eric Smith to Gene Smith, left baseline. Ewing asking for the ball. Smith can't get it to him. Now he does. Ewing shut off by Perkins. Back to Gene Smith, to Floyd. Now to Eric Smith, to Hancock. Right corner. Worthy not very tight on him. Hancock comes up out of the corner, one dribble. Now he'll shoot over Worthy. It's no good. An air ball. Jordan's got the rebound. Outlet to Jimmy Black. Black going down against Sleepy Floyd. Pushes it away to Worthy. Missed it. Doherty's there. Tapped it out. Recovered Perkins. Perkins to Jimmy Black. Black pushes it to Worthy. Worthy turns around. Scores. 29-26. Carolina with its biggest lead, and Worthy's got 18 points. 2.5 minutes left to play in the first half. Eric Smith across the timeline. The Tar Heel fans are really got something to cheer about. Whistle, foul on Michael Jordan. Whistle by Hank Nichols for pushing off on Eric Smith in the midcourt area. Fred Brown and Ed Spriggs will get back into the Georgetown lineup now as Gene Smith and Mike Hancock come out of there. The foul on Jordan is his first. Jim, that's only the second that's been whistled against the Tar Heels. Georgetown has 5 team fouls.
Woody James Worthy, we've said all year, tended to save his best performances for the biggest games. And some of those games early in the year when the Tar Heels would get a big lead, he didn't always look real good. But boy, he has saved it for tonight.
Eric Smith from the right, or Sleepy Floyd from the right wing. And boy, that was one that was shot from downtown New Orleans. Floyd is now 5 of 7. He missed his last shot. Here's Black, almost taken away, and the foul is called on Eric Smith, and that will be number 2 on the Potomac, Maryland senior, and it's the 6th team foul against Georgetown. The next non-shooting foul will put Carolina into the bonus. Jimmy Black calling out the number 2 offense as he'll make the inbound play from right in front of the Georgetown bench. Well, he started to, but Johnny Dabro says it's to be made at the baseline underneath the Tar Heel goal. 2:04 to play in the half. Jimmy Black looking, lobs into Doherty in the right corner. Doherty puts it over to Jordan, up the sideline. Now goes cross court to Jimmy Black. Carolina is not going to play against Georgetown's zone. Well, Jimmy Black's moved out front now to call the number 5 play. So now Carolina starts into a play. Whips it to Perkins. Perkins over the top of Ewing. No good. Rebounded by Sleepy Floyd. He and Spriggs were there. 29-26 or 29-28 Carolina. 1:42 to play. Here's Floyd. No good. Ewing is there. We got a whistle, and the foul's on Michael Jordan. It's his second. The Wilmington freshman fouling, I think, more out of frustration as Carolina picks up his 3rd team foul that Ewing had gotten a baseline position. And that'll, let's see, are they going to give Georgetown 2 shots? Yes, I believe. Although I thought the foul, Jim, came before he'd gotten into a shooting motion. If Ewing has a weakness, it's the fact that he's only a 61% free throw shooter. He had 8 points, 10 rebounds in the 5-point victory over Louisville on Saturday afternoon. All Big East rookie. Believe it or not, he did not make the Big East first team. Free throw is up, and it's good. Ewing now with 7 first-half points. Perkins, his counterpart in the middle for Carolina, has scored but 1 field goal. 29-29, the ball game tied. But Ewing will have a chance to break the tie here. Ewing ready, takes an awful lot of time at the free throw line. Ewing ready, looks at the goal, now arches it up, and it's good. So Ewing has got 8 points, and Georgetown retakes the lead, 29-29. Puts pressure on the Tar Heels in the backcourt. Jimmy Black against Spriggs. Now comes to Perkins. Perkins goes right back to Black with it. Black picked up on the double team. Long pass over to Worthy on the right wing. Eric Smith is on him. Worthy will go to the middle, gives it back out front to Perkins. Now in the midcourt area to Black. Black calling out 4C. Georgetown with a 30-29 lead. But now Dean Smith, Jimmy Black waved it off, realizing Georgetown with the lead doesn't have to come out of the zone. So he waved it off, quickly went to the number 2 offense. Peterson's back in the game for Jordan. Peterson on the right to Black, now to Doherty. Doherty left of the circle, moving in a couple of steps, looks inside, comes back out front now to Black. 30-29 Georgetown. 1 minute left to play in the first half. Jimmy Black calling out the offense, goes to Worthy. Smith playing him tight even with 2 fouls. Perkins to Black at the left wing. Black out front now to Doherty. Doherty looks inside. Ball knocked away. Loose on the floor. Recovered Georgetown. Floyd knocked it away. Eric Smith got it down to Floyd. Floyd driving baseline. Dunk to Patrick Ewing. It was an alley-oop dunk. Straight past Sleepy Floyd. And Georgetown breaks back on top as Georgetown has run off 6 unanswered points to go from a 3-point deficit to a 3-point lead. 28 seconds remain. Jimmy Black again calls out the play for the Tar Heels. Worthy asking for the ball inside. Peterson over on the left side from Black. Comes back on the right to Black. Georgetown's defense clogging up the middle. Doherty on the right side. Comes up a couple of steps. Gives it away to Jimmy Black. Black left of the circle to Sam Perkins. Perkins is fouled by Sleepy Floyd. Floyd picks up his first personal foul. That'll be the 7th team foul, so the Tar Heels will get 1 and 1 here with 8 seconds remaining in the first half. Don't forget that Jim Valvano, the NC State head coach, will try to make his way down from his seat here at the Superdome to be with Jim Hebner at halftime. You'll want to stay tuned for that. We haven't gotten an official count on attendance tonight, but looks like it might go better than the 61,000 in here Saturday afternoon, even though a lot of Louisville and Houston fans, a good many of them still here, but still a good many of them tried to sell their tickets. Jimmy Black's coming out of the lineup, and Jim Braddock's in case it's going to be a long outside shot that the Tar Heels might get if a missed free throw is tapped out here in the final seconds of the first half.
The Tar Heels are going to try to foul rather than let Georgetown get any kind of shot.
Carolina with only 3 team fouls, 1 and 1. Sam Perkins at the free throw line. He missed 2 earlier. He has only 1 first half field goal out of 4 attempts. Perkins' free throw is good. He now has 3 points, and it's 32-30 in favor of Georgetown. Perkins will have a chance to pull Carolina within 1. Perkins turned to look to Jim Braddock to get the play call for the defense if he makes this free throw. There's the free throw, and it's good. Perkins now with 4. It's 32-31. 8 seconds remain in the half. Sleepy Floyd against Jim Braddock, and Braddock reaches around and fouls. Pushing foul called on Braddock. And that will be only the 4th team foul against Carolina with 3 seconds remaining in the first half. So it was a good foul by Chattanooga's Jim Braddock. Eric Smith will inbound from midcourt. Gets it to Spriggs. Spriggs will fire from the sideline. It's an air ball. Missed everything. Rebounded by Perkins. Time has expired here in the first half. So Georgetown jumped out to an early 6-point lead in the first 7 minutes of play. Carolina recovered, caught up. The game was tied 5 times. Tar Heels led by 3, but then a Georgetown run of 6 straight points put Georgetown up by 3 before the Tar Heels came back here to cut the deficit to just 1 at intermission. Carolina will start possession of the second half, or the second half, with possession of the basketball and a chance to go back in front. 32-31. Jimmy Black against Sleepy Floyd as Georgetown is open in a man-to-man defense. Jimmy Black coming through to Sam Perkins on the left side. Now back to Black. Back door to Doherty. Doherty underneath, trying for the shot, couldn't score. And the foul's on who? Pat Ewing? If it is, it'll be number 3. So it's on Ed Spriggs, who started the second half here in place of Mike Hancock. Foul on Spriggs is his first, and that's the first team foul against Georgetown. Fouled in the act of shooting, Doherty will go to the free throw line. Carolina was only 3 of 6 from the free throw line in the first half. Doherty's free throw is good. Score tied, 32-all. Matt Doherty with his 3rd point of the ball game. Matt's gotten off to a slow start in each of the last 2 games, going 0 for 7 in the first half. He was 1 of 3 in the first half against Georgetown tonight. Next free throw is good, and Carolina retakes the lead at 33-32. 19:43 to play in the championship game. Zone pressure by the Tar Heels in the backcourt. Sleepy Floyd, front court to Fred Brown. Brown coming on the left side, gives way to Ewing. Worthy knocked down. No foul on the play as Ewing gets his 12th point on the layup from the left side. Worthy to Jimmy Black. Goes front court, or to Sam Perkins up the sideline. Now back to Worthy. Worthy gets across the timeline. He's double teamed by Smith and Spriggs. Away now to Perkins. To Michael Jordan. Jump shot out of the right corner is good. 35-34. Carolina retakes the lead. Well, the Tar Heels are certainly shooting the ball better at the outset of the second half. They've only had 1 shot, but they seem to be getting inside a little bit better. Those type of shots were not going for him in the first half. Sleepy Floyd on the turnaround. Perkins has got the rebound, and the foul's called on Sam Perkins for pushing off against Pat Ewing, and that's going to be number 1 against Perkins. Be the first team foul against Carolina in the second half, and Georgetown will get the ball out of bounds at its own end line. Eric Smith will make the inbound play to Spriggs, gets it right back in the right corner, comes out of the corner against Jordan. Ball was knocked away. Bobby Dibbler let John Dabrow make the call for blue, and Dean Smith was coming in front of the scorer's table hollering white, and I think Bobby Dibbler, quite honestly, was going to award the ball to Carolina. Here's Floyd coming baseline. Doherty stripped him with the ball, knocked it over the inline out of bounds, and it's Georgetown's basketball. Dabrow took that call then. Bobby Dibbler, I believe, was ready to give the ball to Carolina. But anyway, it'll be Georgetown's ball again now after the last out-of-bounds play. Inbounded out front to Fred Brown. Fred comes over to Sleepy Floyd. Now to Eric Smith, deep in the right corner. Looked to Spriggs, couldn't get it low to him. They had a double low post. Now it's over to Brown. On the left side, cross-court pass to Eric Smith. Smith penetrating right of the lane. Can't get through to Floyd. Floyd backing up outside. Now here's Eric Smith shooting out the right corner. No good. They battle for it inside. Perkins had it, lost it, and it belongs to Carolina. Bobby Dibbler says it went out of bounds off Patrick Ewing, and so it'll be Carolina's ball. Tar Heels lead 35-34. That's turnover number 7 for the Hoyas. Georgetown contingent hollering, "Let's go Hoyas." Jimmy Black, backcourt against the bigger Ed Spriggs. He'll get across the timeline, runs into Eric Smith on the double team. Long cross-court pass to Jordan. Shot from out on the right was a virtual air ball. Missed. It did nick the front of the rim enough to be picked up by Eric Smith. Off to Fred Brown. Now back to Smith. Smith pulls up. Doherty is there. Bounce pass out front to Floyd. Dumps it inside to Spriggs. Knocked away Jimmy Black. Took it away from him. Outlet lead to Worthy. Worthy with Floyd, and Floyd took it away from him. Dean Smith hollering at Johnny Dabro for not making the call. Now to Eric Smith baseline. Feeds low at the baseline to Brown. Can't get through to Ewing. Almost knocked away Black. Saved it to Eric Smith. Out of the left corner. No good. They crashed the board. Tapped by Jordan. Tapped up. Tapped around. And finally laid up and in by Ewing. Ewing pushing Worthy as they come out of there. And Ewing and Worthy almost square off. Ewing was really muscling Worthy, and Worthy muscled him right back, and Ewing started to come back and confront him. Here's Jordan to Doherty coming down the left sideline. Doherty backing toward the sideline. Now to Jordan. Over it goes to Black on the right. To Worthy at the low post. We get a whistle, and the foul is called on Fred Brown. Brown guilty of his 3rd personal foul. That'll be the 2nd team foul against Georgetown here in the second half. Of course, Ewing, Jim Hebner, earlier in the season had really turned on a couple of opposing players when he was still very early in his career. And up in Rochester, New York, I believe, in the Kodak Classic, turned and virtually choked an opposing player.
Woody, I suspect that the officials would say that it's a championship game in which the players ought to be allowed to play. The game ought to be called the same way all the time. We're seeing more uncalled contact tonight than I think I can recall this year.
Doherty out front to Jordan, now in the right corner to Worthy. Martin is all over him. Bill Martin has come in the lineup for Georgetown along with Anthony Jones. Jimmy Black, long cross-court pass to Jordan. Jordan coming baseline. Jumper from behind the glass is no good. And the foul has been called, I believe, on Bill Martin. Martin, the guilty party. It'll be his first personal foul, and that'll be the 3rd team foul, but it should be a shooting foul for Michael Jordan, the freshman from Wilmington, and will be. Jordan said earlier this year that he really felt like he began to adjust when Matt Doherty told him just to be himself, not only on the basketball floor, but in the classroom at Chapel Hill. Jordan's free throw is good, and it's 36-36 with 17:02 to play. That's point number 7 for Jordan. The ACC Rookie of the Year had 18 points in Saturday's win over Houston. We'll have another shot coming. Georgetown changing up a little bit. Floyd getting people positioned along the lanes. Score was tied 5 times in the first half. Michael Jordan ready, taking his time, arches this one up, and it's good. Jordan now with 8 points, and Carolina leads 37-36 with exactly 17 minutes to play. Away to Ewing. Ewing pulls up along the left, gives it to Eric Smith, now down the sideline to Martin. Martin left of the lane, looks inside. Worthy's on him as Carolina's man-to-man. Martin's got to get rid of it, tried to get it to Eric Smith. Ball got away, and Hank Nichols says it belongs to Georgetown. That time, Johnny Dabro started to give it to Carolina, but Hank Nichols, already beating him to the punch, had the loud whistle and indicated it was Blues ball, which in this case is Georgetown. Eric Smith in the corner. Double team. Worthy took it away from him. Long lead outlet to Jimmy Black. Black for the layup. No good. Rebounded by Jordan. Followed up. Michael Jordan runs the Carolina lead back to 3. Matches Carolina's biggest first half lead. 39-36. 16 and a half minutes left to play in the ball game. Eric Smith across the timeline, goes to Patrick Ewing. Good pass to Sleepy Floyd. Worthy knocked down, no foul on the play. Floyd gets his first field goal of the second half. He's got 12 for the game. 39-38, Carolina by 1. Jimmy Black, lob pass back to James Worthy. Gets by Anthony Jones, over to Jimmy Black now on the right side. Black well out. Georgetown matching up man-to-man. Sleepy Floyd will come out to pick up Jimmy Black. Black moving to the left, gives it to Jordan on the wing. Jordan's got the hot hand at the moment. Sam Perkins against Eric Smith. Drops it off to Matt Doherty. Doherty moving down to the left, can't get through. Goes to Perkins, to Black, now low to Worthy. Against Ewing, rejected. Saved by Floyd. Floyd lead pass to Martin coming down on the left. Martin drives in, hands it to Ewing. Ball knocked away, double dribble against Georgetown, and that turns it over to Carolina. Scott Briggs will get back. Into the lineup for the Hoyas of Georgetown.
Is Thompson mad? He just came out with one word. He said, wrong, no travel.
Jimmy Black missing the last layup for the Tar Heels, but after Matt Doherty ran by and couldn't get it, Michael Jordan was there to follow up. 39-38, Carolina by one. Georgetown man-to-man. Black across the timeline against Floyd. Tar Heels in white. Moving to the south goal here in the Superdome. Inside to Perkins over Ewing. Jump hook is good. Sam Perkins with only a second field goal. 41-38. Carolina by three. 15-20 to play in the ball game. Floyd, right wing to Jones. Goes over on the left side now to Eric Smith. Smith calling out the offense. Carolina man-to-man. Smith working toward the right sideline. Floyd comes to get it against Michael Jordan. Floyd drives baseline. Cut off there by Jordan. Bounce pass comes to Ewing. Now to Spriggs. Over on the left side to Smith. Goes in the corner to Jones. Inside to Spriggs. Knocked away off Worthy. And Johnny Dabro says it's still Georgetown's basketball. Fred Brown will get back into the lineup for Georgetown. And right now an official timeout is being whistled as the Tar Heels are up by three.
Woody Durham with Jim Hebner and our Tar Heel Sports Network crew. David Wright, our engineer. Bob Woodruff, our statistician. And Dragan Mihalovic, our production assistant. And we've got 14:57 left to play, Jim Hebner, for the NCAA title. Carolina's got a 3-point lead, and Georgetown will have possession of the basketball.
The lead has changed hands 4 times in the second half. The Tar Heels are 3 of 6. Georgetown is 3 of 7 off the boards in this half. Georgetown is out rebounding the Tar Heels 5-2 in a real classic championship game.
Eric Smith out front to Sleepy Floyd. Gives it away to Smith on the right wing. Back to Floyd. Looked inside to Spriggs. Goes instead to Fred Brown. Ewing's come out to the high post. Now to Smith. Back on the right side to Floyd. Shot from the right sideline. Good. Boy, Eric Floyd, what a good long-range shooter. 41-40. 14:40 to play. Double teamed in the backcourt. Black got it to Worthy. Now to Doherty coming front court on the right. Doherty out front to Jimmy Black. Black just holding the ball there as Eric Smith tightens up on him. Black to Perkins. Ewing has come well out on him. Now he comes to Jordan against Sleepy Floyd. To Black. Low to Worthy. Ball knocked away. And it's lost off of Ed Spriggs, and it'll be Carolina's ball. Deflect the ball away and get something going for Georgetown off the break on the turnover. 41-40 Carolina. Doherty inbounds to Worthy. Left corner. Oh, threw it away. Right to Sleepy Floyd. Jordan trying to catch up. Floyd tried to dunk and missed it. Rebounded Eric Smith. He'll follow up with a jump shot that's no good. It rolls around the rim and finally fell in. Eric Smith gets his 5th field goal, and Georgetown retakes the lead, 42-41 with 14 minutes to play. So Carolina very quickly has lost its 3-point advantage on 4 unanswered points by the Hoyas. James Worthy looking out front, needs some help. Got to get rid of it, put it to the floor. Now to Jordan, gets it away to Black. High lob into Perkins. Perkins against Ewing, turns baseline, shot blocked. Worthy controls and two-hand stuffs it. Fred Brown was there, but he couldn't stop James Worthy's 20th point. That's his first field goal of the second half. 43-42. Jordan Thompson telling Hank Nichols that Worthy was pushing off to get that bucket. Georgetown in control. Eric Smith, left corner to Ewing, baseline. He's too far underneath, but he comes up and reaches up and lays it in from the left side. Pat Ewing with 16 points. He has hit his last 5 field goals, including his first 3 here in the second half. Smith is all over Worthy. There's an awful lot of contact. Now Perkins, right sideline. Ewing has come all the way out on him. Ewing is bumping him. Ewing has got 2 fouls to Jordan. Here's Jordan on the drive, pushes it off the glass, no good. Ewing's got the rebound. Georgetown with a 1-point lead in the basketball. Way to Eric Smith. Now it comes back to Fred Brown with under 13 minutes to go. Inside to Ewing. Ewing turns against Perkins. Over. Perkins good, and he's fouled. Patrick Ewing on the turnaround over Sam for his 18th point. Perkins draws his second foul. He has both of Carolina's team fouls in the second half. Ewing is 8 of 9 from the field. He hit his first 2, missed his third shot, and has now hit his last 6 shots in a row, including his first 4 here in the second half. He's taking control of the game for Georgetown. This will be the game's first 3-point play attempt. 46-43. Georgetown led in the first half by 6. Ewing could make it 4 if he knocks this one in. 12:51 to play.
It's a mark of the classic big men that they change all the things that you want to do, and Pat Ewing is beginning to assert that dominance right now.
Ewing on the free throw, and it's good. Boy, for a 61% shooter, he's been a dead-eye Dick tonight. Ball is knocked away in the backcourt, and we get a whistle. And I thought for a moment there was a foul, but the ball hit the underneath side of the backboard. And it's going to be Carolina's basketball. Worthy inbounds the ball to Doherty. Had to call Doherty to him on the inbounds play. Now to Peterson. Peterson against Eric Smith. Floyd coming on the knockaway. No foul on the play. Here's Floyd down against Worthy. Layup is no good. Tapped outside. Recovered by Black. Now the Tar Heels are on the run. Trying to get back within 2. Here's Perkins from the baseline. Good. 47-45. Sam Perkins has got to open up a little bit offensively for the Tar Heels. That's only his 8th point of the game. He's had 4 on 2 field goals here in the second half. 12:20 to play in the ball game. Eric Smith coming now to Fred Brown. Pushes it away to Ed Spriggs. Looks to Sleepy Floyd. Black knocks it away. Foul call. And Floyd stuck an arm up under Jimmy's chin. And really, when the Tar Heels are countering back with contact, Georgetown is retaliating like the Tar Heels want to mix it up. Ewing did it earlier against Worthy, and then Floyd, very uncommonly then, stuck an elbow right up under Jimmy Black's neck. And Jimmy had something very quickly to say to him about Sleepy. Now, you know I didn't mean anything by that. I was just trying to get the basketball. Floyd from 15 feet. Good. Sleepy Floyd now with 16 points. Inbounds to Black. Eric Smith is there, down the sideline, front court to Doherty. Doherty coming down on the left, gets double teamed to Perkins. Didn't take the shot, now to Peterson. Shot from out on the right is no good. Doherty had it, lost it. Ewing had it. Sleepy Floyd had it, lost it. Picked up by Ewing, off to Fred Brown. In the middle, intended for Eric Smith. Peterson stole it. Away to Worthy. Worthy on Floyd for the dunk. And Floyd draws the foul. It was Gastonia against Gastonia, as it was earlier when Floyd laid one up on Worthy, and that time James stuck it in his face. Floyd's coming out of the game now. The foul on Floyd will be his second. There's been an official timeout, or was it a timeout called by Georgetown? Georgetown uses its second timeout. Oh, my. 11:41 to play on the ball game. Timeout on the floor. Worthy will be at the line when we return with the score. Georgetown 49, Carolina 47. Jim Hebner with Woody, or this is Woody Durham with Jim Hebner, and I was about to say to Jim that while we were away, James Worthy's dunk was replayed on the overhead screens here at the Superdome, and it drew a long, resounding oomph from the Tar Heel contingent. Right now, Carolina's big concern is the rebounds. Carolina dominated in the first half, but Georgetown's got the advantage here in the second half. Worthy at the line.
9-4, they're out rebounding the Tar Heels, who are shooting 55% in the second half, but Woody, Georgetown shooting 57%.
49-47. Worthy will try to pull Carolina within 1. This is first free throw of the game. He's got 22 points. He's 11 of 15, 49-48. Worthy now with 23 points. Carolina with pressure in the backcourt. Eric Smith against Matt Doherty. Trying to get timeline right side. Turns, goes back to the left, runs into the double team. Gets it to Sleepy Floyd. Jimmy Black's on him. Doherty's there. Floyd has to get rid of it. Does to Smith. Pushes it away to Spriggs in the right corner. Now comes back out front to Floyd. Floyd penetrating. Foul line. Jumpers up. No good. Worthy's had the rebound. Worthy comes away as Floyd went down. Lead pass out to Michael Jordan. And we get a whistle and a travel called against Michael Jordan. That turns it over. 11:17 to play in the ball game. Georgetown will retake possession. 49-48. Hoyas lead the Tar Heels by 1. It's been an excellent basketball game thus far. Eric Smith against Doherty. Comes front court to Spriggs. Well out on the right. Now comes right to him to get the ball. Boy, Jim, there's a lot of contact. Not only on the ball, but off of it. These two teams are really going at each other. Here's Floyd driving. Tried to dump it off to Ewing, and there's a whistle, and the foul's on Jimmy Black. That's his second. That's the 4th team foul. The 4 team fouls against Carolina in the second half have come with 2 on Perkins and 2 on Black.
He was shoveling it off to Pat Ewing for what would have been a sure stuff.
10:55 to play in the ball game. Georgetown will get the ball out of bounds. 49-48. Hoyas lead it. Eric Smith from Ed Spriggs. Left sideline. Eric Smith out front now to Sleepy Floyd. Comes over on the right side to Fred Brown. Now it goes to Smith. Shot over Doherty is good. Hit the side of the rim. Bounced high and went in. Smith's got 12. Carolina quickly front court. Doherty breaks his dribble, top of the circle. Comes to Perkins, to Black. Now to Jordan. Jordan going baseline against Ewing. Lost the ball. Coming away with it, Georgetown. 51-48. Hoyas can go up by 5. Tried to give the lob to Ewing. Rebounded by Perkins on the miss. Off to Black. Now to Doherty. Doherty shovels it back to Jordan. Jordan goes baseline, soft jumper, good! Over the top of Ewing. Ewing had time to get back, but Jordan took his time and got his 12th point. 51-50, Georgetown by 1 with 10:10 to play. Jim, you just have the feeling this one's going to the wire.
Oh, what a game.
Across the timeline and a walk comes Fred Brown. Drops it off to Sleepy Floyd. He gets it away to Eric Smith on the left sideline. Smith picks up his dribble. Now to Ewing, who comes well out. Drops it off to Sleepy Floyd. Floyd works his way top of the circle, trying to penetrate. Goes down left the lane, can't get through. Comes back outside. Black even with two personals trying for the steal. Eric Smith driving baseline. Blocked. Worthy, and they call a foul. Worthy turns and tells Bobby Dibbler immediately, I didn't get him, I got the ball. Dibbler whistles the first personal foul on Worthy. It'll be the 5th team foul, and there'll be 2 shots coming for Eric Smith, the senior from Potomac, Maryland. 9:42 left to play in the game. Worthy's out for a blow as Chris Brust has come in for the first time in the second half.
Woody, the pace is just absolutely furious, and where we're sitting, virtually all the players have sweat just flying. I mean, it is as furious a pace as we've seen this year.
Free throw is up and good by Smith. Georgetown, for a team shooting only 65%, has been letter perfect, 4 of 4. It is 52-50. Eric Smith can run the Hoya lead back to 3 points. Third team All-East selection, throws it up and good. He's got 14 points. He's scored 14 in each of the 2 games so far. It's 53-50. Perkins, ball knocked away, recovered Black. Almost stolen by the Hoyas. Jimmy Black trying to get front court, does by Sleepy Floyd. Goes by Fred Brown. Brown reached around and fouled him. Fred Brown draws what will be his 4th personal foul. Fred Brown's a good defensive player, and he was the Big East rookie of a year ago, and he's going to have to probably come out of there as James Worthy returns for Carolina, replacing Chris Brust. John Thompson has made no indication yet about changing him. Now he is going to send Gene Smith in for him. So that's the 4th personal on Fred Brown with 9:30 to play in the ball game. Carolina will have possession of the basketball. That is the 5th team foul against Georgetown here in the second half. Both teams have been whistled for 5. Gene Smith is into the Georgetown lineup, and Dean Smith in front of the North Carolina bench is already changing his defensive assignments. Carolina inbounding the ball, got it to Worthy. Smith almost making contact, enough to draw a foul. Perkins against Ewing, comes left of the circle. Ewing on him defensively, well out as Georgetown's man-to-man. Off to Black. Black works against Gene Smith. 53-50 Georgetown. Tar Heels need a bucket. Whistle, foul, Gene Smith. Johnny Dabro whistles the 6th team foul against Georgetown. And on Gene Smith, it will be his first. John Thompson calling Gene Smith over with him to have a word, evidently telling him not to draw the fouls out in the midcourt area. 53-50, Georgetown by 3. Jimmy Black gets it into James Worthy. Worthy behind his head, and Hancock fouls him. Mike Hancock commits his first personal foul, and the Tar Heels, like that, boom, boom, are in the bonus with 9:11 to play.
Woody, help me understand that foul in the context of the game. It's a good break for the Tar Heels to get into the 1-and-1 that early. John Thompson is up complaining now, and again, there was no question that it was contact, and it may have bothered Worthy, but we've seen much more contact earlier in the game, not called.
Jim, we have evidently in the minds of the officials there, they put Worthy at a disadvantage on catching the inbounds pass, and the shot wouldn't go for Worthy. Rebounded, however, by Jordan. So it remains 53-50, but Carolina's got possession. To Doherty, away to Worthy for the dunk. Ewing couldn't get there in time. That's 25 for James Worthy. 53-52, Georgetown's lead is trimmed to 1. Jim, we're seeing one of the greatest Carolina performances by a player, win or lose, by James Worthy I've ever witnessed. Jimmy Black to the left, gives it up to Sleepy Floyd. Floyd looking inside, will drive baseline, shovels it away to Ewing, stolen by Jordan. Jordan away to Worthy. Worthy against Gene Smith for the dunk. Carolina takes the lead, 54-53. Worthy has got 27. 8.5 minutes to play. John Thompson will use his 3rd timeout. Timeout. Call by the Hoyas. Now, Georgetown is trying to say there should have been a foul on Matt Doherty, but John, I believe, Hank Nichols is saying the timeout was called first. You hear Johnny Dabro say at the scorer's table, timeout called first before the foul. No foul on Doherty. So there's timeout on the floor with 8:27 to play as John Thompson complains at the scorer's table with the score. North Carolina. And that language, you hear the obscenities in the background. The Georgetown coach, he is talking to Dr. Ed Seitz, chairman of the NCAA Rules Committee. Rejoining you from the Louisiana Superdome, John Thompson continuing to argue in front of the scorers table with Johnny Debro. And he was taking out his frustration earlier on Ed Stites, chairman of the NCAA Rules Committee, with a raft of obscenities. 8:27 left to play in the ball game with the score Carolina 54, Georgetown 53. What started all the commotion was Georgetown had asked for its third timeout. Matt Doherty fouled, but the timeout came before the foul, so the foul was not called. Fred Brown driving, feeds away to Ewing. Ewing for the dunk. 55-54, Georgetown retakes the lead. It's dunk against dunk now. Jordan caught in the double team, loses the ball. Recovered Fred Brown, drops it off. Michael Jordan comes away with it. Couldn't hold it. Eric Smith couldn't. Now it's to James Worthy. Ewing now with 21 points. I'll tell you, he and Worthy and Sleepy Floyd have put on some show. Sam Perkins, Georgetown with a 55-54 lead. And over the back of James Worthy comes Ed Spriggs to pick up his second personal foul. Worthy will go to the line to shoot 1 and 1. He is 1 of 2 on the night.
Woody, what remarkable performances by the big men. Worthy is 4 of 5 in the half, 13 of 17 from the floor for the game. Pat Ewing is 5 of 6 in the half and 9 of 11 for the game.
James Worthy will shoot 1 and 1. Worthy eyes the front of the rim, arches it up, and it's going to be way short. Rebounded by Ewing. Worthy has missed 2 free throws in a row. Georgetown still with a 1-point lead. 7:45 to play. Smith against Matt Doherty. Out front it goes to Fred Brown. Now to Sleepy Floyd. Down the left side to Smith. Bounces inside to Spriggs. Spriggs against Worthy. No basket. And Worthy is whistled for the foul. It'll be number 2 on the Gastonia Junior. That is going to be the 6th-team foul against Carolina, but it's going to be a shooting foul for Ed Spriggs. He's a 68% free throw shooter. And Georgetown right now has got its lead because the Hoyas are 5 of 5 at the free throw line. Carolina is 8 of 13. Of course, Carolina is 23 of 44 from the field. Georgetown is 25 of 46. Actually, the lead coming on the field goals. Georgetown, though, as a 65% shooting free throw team, has just missed its first. Ed Spriggs on a 2-shot foul, missing. He'll follow up now with a second shot. 7:36 to play. Georgetown leads 55-54. Here's the shot, and it's good. 56-54. That's Spriggs' first point of the game. Inbounds to Black. Right back to Perkins it comes. Sam holding against Spriggs. Comes now to Doherty. Doherty looking, goes cross-court to Buzz Peterson, the Asheville freshman in the game. Coming down, gets it away to Worthy. Worthy on the fake. Ball knocked away, however, by Eric Smith. And so it will still be Carolina's ball out of bounds. 7:25 to play. Georgetown 56, Carolina 54. Matt Doherty holds high at the baseline, gets it to Worthy. Now it comes to Peterson, cross-court to Black on the right side. Jimmy Black looks inside, comes back to Peterson on the left. High lob to Perkins, pushes it away to Doherty. Doherty moving up the left sideline. Spriggs follows him a little bit. Now to Perkins. Ewing playing on him, but not very tight. To Black. Now down the left sideline. Tried to get it to Worthy. Spriggs saved it nicely to Fred Brown. Fred Brown will get it front court. Georgetown's got a chance now to grab a 4-point lead. Lost ball, hit the end line, and there was a walking call as Sleepy Floyd went down.
Woody, he went to his knees, and the floor was a little wet. Actually, I'm sure his body was wet at that point. No way he could keep from sliding.
Michael Jordan's returned to the North Carolina lineup now, replacing Buzz Peterson. Sam Perkins inbounds to Matt Doherty, gets it right back. Sam against Ed Spriggs, breaks his dribble, now goes to Worthy. Worthy in the backcourt, double team, goes to Jimmy Black. Black gets it across the timeline, 56-54, with 6:45 left to play in the ball game. Black calling out the offense, will now move to the right side, gives it up to Perkins. Ewing reached in and fouled it. That's number 3 on Pat Ewing, his first in the second half, and it'll give Sam Perkins a chance to go to the free throw line and shoot 1 and 1. Sam missed his first 2, but he made his last 2 in the first half. This will be his first chance here in the second half. John Thompson has called his big 7-foot freshman from Cambridge over to have a word with him. Jim, his basketball team up in Cambridge went 94-5 while he was there, and 4 of those losses came when Ewing was a freshman.
Woody, Georgetown trying to drop back into a zone that time, maybe just to change things around, also to get a little blow. Shot's good. And it will be very interesting to keep our eye on the clock now at the 6:38 mark. Obviously, the team with the lead here in the next minute or two, I have an idea, is going to begin to think about sitting on it.
This ball game, I don't believe, has been tied here in the second half. But now it is for the first time at 56 all. That's the 6th time it's been tied overall. That's 10 points now for Sam Perkins. Eric Smith backcourt against Carolina's zone pressure. Smith across the timeline. Black coming up from behind him. He and Doherty there on the double team. To Spriggs. Back to Smith. Smith pushes it away to Fred Brown on the left side. High pass to Spriggs. Looked to Ewing. Couldn't get it to him. Goes back to Brown. Now they go to Ewing. Jordan knocked it away. Ewing recovered. Got it to Floyd. Bounces out front to Eric Smith. 6:15 to play. 56-56. Comes now to Fred Brown on the right side. Brown holds high. Goes cross court. Stolen by Worthy. Worthy will come down against Spriggs. And the ball got knocked away, and the whistle and foul is on Eric Smith. And that will be number 3 on the Georgetown senior. And it will send James Worthy to the line to shoot a pair. Worthy has missed his last 2 free throws. Of course, the matchup between he and Sleepy Floyd tonight, renewing some old acquaintances. 4 times in James's sophomore year. In Sleepy's junior year they played. 3 times. Ashbrook, James's school, beat Huss, Sleepy's school, but the last time they met in the finals of the state tournament, it was Huss winning. Worthy makes the free throw. He's now 2 of 4. Jim, he has got 28 points in this ball game.
That one was
and
nothing.
That's his season's high.
That one was nothing but net after the last 2 were short.
57-56 Carolina. Make it still 57-56. Ball tapped outside. Recovered Carolina. Floyd bumping Doherty. That time nothing call. To Worthy. Now it comes to Black, and Carolina's looking at 4C with under 6 minutes to play. To Doherty. Georgetown matching up man-to-man to Perkins, now to Worthy on the right side. Carolina in the 4C. Here's Worthy against Spriggs. Can't get down the sideline to Jordan. Out comes left side to Perkins. John Thompson out directing traffic. Perkins puts the ball to the floor. Ewing bumping him as Perkins goes down the sideline. Breaks his dribble, goes to Jimmy Black. Black at the baseline, and Ewing draws his 4th. Pat Ewing bumps Jimmy Black at the baseline, and John Thompson wants to use his 4th timeout. Thompson will go to the last 5.5 minutes of this basketball game with only 1 timeout remaining. So there's timeout on the floor. 5:32 to play with the score. Carolina 57, Georgetown 56. 5 minutes and 32 seconds left before one of these teams will become the 1982 NCAA champion. Carolina trying for a 2nd time in its storied history. Georgetown is trying for a 1st time. And Jim, this has really gone back and forth. Just under 13 minutes left. Georgetown had a 4-point lead. With 8.5 minutes to go, it was Carolina by 3. Now the Tar Heels are ahead by 1. And Jimmy Black will be at the free throw line to shoot 1 and 1.
Woody, he's shooting the biggest free throws of the game so far. If he misses, George, we'll see more of what we have seen. If he makes those and gives the Tar Heels a 3-point lead, then North Carolina could come down, pack back in that zone, and really make Georgetown work hard to get a good shot.
Jimmy Black with only 1 field goal tonight has not been to the free throw yet this evening. Free throw is up. Good. 58-56. The Carolina lead is 2. Could go to 3. Jimmy Black has played in more winning victories than any other ACC player, 103. This one is good also. 59-56 Carolina. 5:32 to play. Fred Brown. Jordan and Black on the double team. Got it away to Floyd. Floyd front court for Georgetown on the left side. Gets Jimmy Black out front. Goes to Eric Smith. Now to Fred Brown. Ewing is out of the ball game for the moment with 4 personal fouls. No, he's not. He's still in there. I'd lost him for a moment. How do you lose a guy 7 foot? Turn around. No good. Worthy tapped it outside, and the foul's on Worthy. It's his 3rd. Now that's the 7th team foul against Carolina. So the Tar Heels go to the bonus now. Or the Hoyas do, shooting 1 and 1 in the last 5 minutes and 11 seconds. But Carolina was in the bonus for 4 more minutes than Georgetown was. Fred Brown at the line. He has not had an attempt tonight. He shoots just about 65%. 59-56. Carolina by 3 with 5:11 to play in the ball game. Fred Brown's free throw is good.
Woody, James Worthy looked over to the bench and pointing to himself says, "How many do I have? How many?" And the bench looked at each other, and Braddock gave him the sign that he has 3, and he says, "Okay."
Next free throw is good also. Fred Brown makes it a 59-58 game. Perkins to inbound, got it to Jimmy Black. Now it goes to Jordan coming front court. Jordan down on the right. Doesn't go through, probably could have, but gets it back out front to Perkins. Now he drops it off to Jimmy Black. Black calls out the offense. No delay here for the Tar Heels. They're running their number 1 offensive play. Worthy holds it against Spriggs. Will now put it to the floor. Gives it up to Doherty. Now it comes to Jimmy Black. 4:50 to play in the ball game. Black coming out front as Carolina puts everybody down low. Now Jordan will come up the left side, take the pass, loops it out front to Perkins. Now it goes to Doherty. Carolina content here to burn some time while running a motion offense. Jordan coming now to Doherty. 4:35 to go. 59-58. Part of the crowd starting to boo, but the Tar Heel fans are coming to their feet and beginning to cheer. Jordan breaking his dribble. In a little bit of trouble against Eric Smith. Got it to Black, and Floyd made the steal, but it was on the inline, and it'll still be Carolina's ball. Dean Smith is asking Bobby Dibbler if there was a foul call. Jimmy Black asking, was there a foul call? Bobby Dibbler says no. He just knocked it out of bounds. So it's still Carolina's ball. Worthy will break out front and take the inbounds pass from Black right in front of the Carolina bench. Now gives it to Perkins. Perkins calling Michael to him. Spriggs on him. Gives it up to Doherty. Fred Brown on him. Doherty holds high. Now Doherty will move away to the right on his dribble to Jimmy Black. Sleepy Floyd's on him. Black looked around, was calling out something to the offense. Now gives it over to Jordan. Eric Smith on him to Worthy at the left wing. Ewing moving out. Now they give it up to Jordan. Spriggs has got to stop Perkins underneath. Perkins wants to go back door if he can. 59-58, Carolina by 1 with 3:50 to play. They're trying to get Georgetown spread out enough here to either get a layup or possibly draw a foul. Doherty comes to the right wing, takes the pass from Perkins. Now it comes out front to Worthy. John Thompson standing directing his defense. Dean Smith is standing directing his offense. Ball knocked away from Perkins by Spriggs. Gene Smith wants to get in the ball game for Georgetown, and he will for Fred Brown. Ball is out of bounds, will belong to Carolina. Fred Brown coming out of the game. Jimmy Black will make the inbounds play. 3:35 to play. Carolina with a 1-point lead. 59-58. Perkins breaking out front to take the pass. Gives it up to Worthy. Spriggs moves out on him. Now Ewing has gone back on Perkins. Jordan out front on Floyd. Here comes Jordan down. Layup off the glass is good. Over the top of Ewing. Michael Jordan gets his 14th point. 61-58 with 3:20 to play in the ball game. Georgetown comes front court. Tar Heels pack back in the zone. Here's Floyd away to Smith over on the right side. Smith out front to Floyd. Goes cross court now to Eric Smith. Smith down the left sideline. Back out front to Floyd. Both contingents of fans, Georgetown's and sort of the darker blue and white, coming to their feet. Carolina's light blue and white standing up now. Not all of them, but a few of them. But they're trying to make as much noise as possible. The clock is at 2:50 and running. I'll watch it for you. 61-58 left to play in the ball game. Carolina by 3. Here's Floyd going right of the lane to baseline. Passes off to Gene Smith. He'll come back outside. Goes to Ewing, high post. Ewing over Perkins. And it drops in. Front rim and then got over the top, went in. Ewing has got 23 points. Carolina inbounds the ball to Perkins. Perkins gets away from Floyd. Got it to Jordan. Now it comes to Doherty. Ewing has dropped back, so Carolina will not try to go through. Back out front now to Black. It's 61-60. Carolina by 1 with 2:20 to play. The call is 4C. Perkins on the left wing. Looking out front to Jordan. Puts it to the floor. Ewing is well out on him. Goes cross court to Doherty against Eric Smith. Doherty getting by Smith. Now the double team is there as Floyd got there. Goes to Perkins with it. Perkins right back to Doherty. He'll come back out front to Black. 2 minutes left to play in the national championship game. 61-60. Carolina by 1. We expected to see one of these two teams go to the delay game. Now Dean Smith has changed the call to a straight 4 corners. Perkins out front against Ewing. Goes to Worthy. Remember, Ewing has got 4 personal fouls. Carolina would like to get into position to draw Ewing Smith. Worthy in the midcourt area. Gives it up to Doherty. Double team is there. He got rid of it quickly to Black. Now trying to work to the midcourt area against Gene Smith. Over on the left side. It goes to Michael Jordan against Sleepy Floyd. Jordan gets it away to Perkins. Now out front to Doherty with 1:25 to play. John Thompson's going to have to tighten up his defense. Goes to Perkins. Gives it up to Doherty. Ball knocked away. Foul is on Eric Smith. It's his 4th. 61-60 with 1:19 to play. To shoot 1-1.
Woody, the Tar Heels doing a great job of handling the ball in a pressure-tight situation. Now Matt Doherty's going to the line. Woody, what's he done at the line? I don't think he's been to the line tonight. 2 of 2.
At one first-half field goal. Gotten his 2 free throws here in the second half. Actually, Jimmy hasn't looked for that many shots. He's gotten in the roll tonight after earlier not getting his shots to go when he was 1 of 3. As more the playmaker, the guy to give up the ball.
Woody, more and more during the game, I felt that Georgetown was challenging Matt to shoot, giving him the little 12, 15-footer, and he, as you pointed out, been reluctant to take it.
Matt Doherty at the free throw line. He's met a New York sophomore. Ready? Up. No good. Rebounded Ewing of Georgetown. 1:18 to play. Brown is back in the ball game. He gives it up to Eric Smith. 1:10 to go. Smith wanted to go to Sleepy Floyd. Goes instead to Ewing. Looked low for Hancock. Couldn't get it to him. Goes instead to Floyd. John Thompson might be content here to wait on one. Here's Floyd off balance. It's good. 62-61. Eric Floyd now with 18 points. Carolina coming front court. Dean Smith calling the offense with 50 seconds to go in the ball game. 62-61. Dean Smith wants play number 2. He's got all 5 of his timeouts left. Michael Jordan coming over to Jimmy Black. Timeout for the Tar Heels. Dean Smith wants time. It's Carolina's first. So there's timeout on the floor. 32 seconds remain, and I know you aren't going anywhere. Neither are we. We'll be right back. 32 seconds left to play. Timeout on the floor. The score, Georgetown 62, Carolina 61. 32 seconds remain. It's Georgetown 62, Carolina 61. The Tar Heels just used their first timeout.
Woody, don't you feel the Tar Heels more than anything else are going to try to somehow get it to Worthy, have him go toward Ewing. Worthy has easily been the dominating offensive force for the Tar Heels. You've got Ewing with 4 personal fouls. And that's obviously the best situation for North Carolina right now.
62-61. Carolina had a 61-60 lead with 1:19 to play. Matt Doherty missed the front end of a 1-and-1, and Sleepy Floyd scored to put Georgetown ahead. 30 seconds left to go. To Jimmy Black on the right side. To Michael Jordan back on the right. Over to Jimmy Black. Black holding high, goes to Doherty. Doherty in the double team, gives it back to Black with 20 seconds left to play. Goes back to Michael Jordan, jumper from out on the left. Good! 63-62, 13, 12, 11. Georgetown with 1 timeout. Fred Brown looking. Oh, way to Worthy. Worthy 5. The Tar Heels are going to win the national championship.
Oh,
the
Dean.
pass is intercepted by James Worthy. Worthy took the ball away. He had done everything offensively.
Tell me who.
Wait a minute. Worthy's been fouled. It's an intentional foul. He'll get 2 shots, I believe. There are 2 seconds remaining.
If they do it, Woody. Oh, Dean Smith, they're doing it for him.
63-62. There are 2 seconds remaining. It was Fred Brown who threw the ball right into the hands of James Worthy. He looked. There was nobody close to Worthy when Worthy intercepted the ball, and then he was caught from behind and fouled by Eric Smith. Smith is fouled out of the game. It was an intentional foul. There will be no Tar Heels on the free throw line. Remember, Ewing is still in the ball game. Eric Smith goes out with 14 points, 6 field goals, 2 free throws. But if these free throws are made, North Carolina would give Pat Ewing an uncontested dunk at the far end of the floor. North Carolina on the verge of its first national championship under Dean Smith. Its second. 2 seconds remain. Anthony Jones has been sent into the lineup to replace Worthy. Worthy is only 2 of 5 at the free throw line. Georgetown with only 1 timeout remaining might call it quickly if Worthy misses the free throw and Carolina rebounds. Now there's been a timeout call by Jordan. Timeout call by Georgetown. The Hoyas are out of timeouts. No timeouts remaining. We'll stay right here at the Superdome in Louisiana.
Woody, there is no question about who
We'll be switching. We'll be getting not only the comments, but we'll go live to Franklin Street. And if you'll pardon the expression, where all hell is about to break loose.
James Worthy has absolutely been the dominating player in this game. And Woody, how long has it been since we can remember any player dominating in any game in which the Tar Heels have participated?
He'll be the most valuable player, Jim, if North Carolina winds up winning it. He's got 2 shots on the intentional foul. 63-62 Carolina. 2 seconds remain. Worthy. No good. He'll have another shot coming. 63-62. Worthy trying to hit this one. Up with the free throw, and it's no good. Rebounded Georgetown, away to Floyd. Floyd fires. It's short. How about them Heels? They are the national champions. In a classic game, in an absolute classic game, North Carolina has beaten Georgetown 63-62 for the national championship.
It's a great way to go out. You know, I don't think any other seniors have gone out with a national championship. And I'm very happy about it, and I'm happy for Coach most of all. Now I won't read any articles that you all sports writers write, and it won't say that he always chokes at the big game. Okay?
Thank you, Jimmy.
The play was designed for Michael to shoot the jump shot. What had happened, Georgetown was in a 1-3-1 zone, and we were trying to swing the zone to my side and let him come to me and then throw it back to Michael across court, and he had a wide open 15-footer, and that's what we wanted to get.
Well, I threw the ball away right in the second half. I threw it to Sleepy Floyd, and it's pretty easy to do because you see two guys pass each other right there together. You don't know; it's sort of hard to distinguish. But I saw him fake. He was going to throw it to somebody on the wing, and I went in the lane and dashed back out. And when I came out, he looked back, and I just stood there. And when he threw it, I was there.
Obviously, we're delighted to win the national championship in 1982. You heard two of the young men, the main reasons for that. I, as a coach, I think I was out-coached tonight, but fortunately I had players that played extremely well, and I thought it was one of the great basketball games, maybe because I was involved, but it'll be interesting to see what people outside think. I thought it was tremendous talent on the floor, but yet there was talent that really cared. They really were teams, and it was a great basketball game. I don't think I'm a better coach now because we won a national if we'd lost. I think I'd been the same coach. I really believe that. This is the only year it would have bothered me in that we had the best basketball team, I thought. We were ranked number 1 in the country preseason. We were ranked number 1 in the country postseason. Everybody shot at us, and I'm not sure we were the best team tonight. I think we were the lucky team tonight. I believe Georgetown was that good. They came on so strong late in the year. But historically, they'll say we were the number 1 team. I think this team is a great winning team. They took some people's best shots and found a way to win. We did lose one game to Wake Forest without Sam Perkins. We lost to Virginia at Virginia. Without a doubt, in my mind, Georgetown is every bit the same team as North Carolina, Virginia, and Wake, when they're playing well, were the best. We played some good teams. I'm sure Louisville and Houston could feel like they were in that category, but Georgetown, to me, maybe because we just played them, was certainly ranks with Virginia as the best team we played all year.